Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Madhuri, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, yes. Yeah, that is okay. Manager. Actually, no, that's fine. No, that's fine. I actually changed the Kuchurada. Hare Krishna, Madhuri. Can you ask Sumedh if there are tilaks you can give to everybody? No, brother. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopi Natha Madana Mohan. Shri Govinda Gopi Natha Madana Mohan. Shri Govinda Gopi Natha Madana Mohana. This bhajan is written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in deep meditation of Vrindavan Dham. So practically he was seeing Vrindavan when he was writing this bhajan. Right? So if we sing this bhajan with the same amount of at least some amount of absorption, we will also see Vrindavan Dham one day. So humbly request everybody to sing enthusiastically and with absorption. These are devotional songs, which we should respectfully sing for our own spiritual advancement. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Gopinatha Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Govinda Gopinatha Jai Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jai Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Govardhana Kunda Govardhana Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavana Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavana Kesi Ghata Vamsi Bhata Dvadasha Ganana Kesi Ghata Vamsi Bhata Dvadasha Ganana Jahasa Bhalila Koilo Shri Nanda Nandana Jahasa Bhalila Koilo Srinanda Jasoda Jaya Jaya Gopagana Sri Damadi Jaya Jaya Denu Vatsagana Sri Damadi Jaya Jaya Denu Vatsagana Jaya Vrisabhanu Jaya Kirtida Sundari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Abhiranagari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Abhiranagari Jaya Jaya Gopishvara Vrindavana Maja Jaya Jaya Krishna Sakha Bhato Dvijaraja Krishna Sakha Dvijaraja Jaya Rama Ghata Jaya Jamini Nandana Jaya Jaya Vrinda Vana Basi Jata Jana Jaya Vrinda Vana Jaya Dvija Patni Jaya Nagakanya Gana Bhakti Tejahara Pailo Govinda Charana Shri Rasa Mandala Jaya Jaya Radha Shama Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela Sarva Manorama Jaya Jwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sara Parakiya Bhave Jaha Brajate Prachara तारकीय भाव जहाँ ब्रजते प्रचारा जानव पादा पद्मा गुड़िया स्मरणा दीन कृष्ण दासा कोहे नाम संकीर्तना दीन कृष्ण दास कोहे नाम संकीर्तना जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन मदन मोहन राधे 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 मदन मोहन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन मदन मोहन राधे मदन मोहन मदन मोहन राधे मदन मोहन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्री गौर निताई की जय, निताई गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। We'll do one more bhajan or will you want to keep the?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते। कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौ ब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कुं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिमित् कृपयातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुदीनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत् स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष सभ्याभ्यन्तरं शुचे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। Since we are in the shelter of Shri Gaurnitai, we will sing Shastastika prayers together once. Okay? Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadvavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairiva chandrika vitaranam vidyavadho jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma sapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna sankirtanam नाम नामकारी बहुड़ा निज सर्व शक्ति तत्रातिपा नियमिता स्मरणे न काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इह जानिननुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेना तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमाननीय मानदेना कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतद्भक्तिरहोइतकी त्वयि अयि नन्दतनुज किङ्कर पतितमां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पाद पंकज धूल सदर्शं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुधाय गिरा कुलकिर्णचितं वपुकदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषा प्रवर्षायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनस्तु मामादर्शनान् परमहतां करोतु वा यथा तथा विदहतो लम्पतो मात्प्रणनाथास्तु एव नापर। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। शिष्टाष्टकम प्रेयर्स की जय। हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. Stand and sit behind the chairs. So today we are going to discuss about chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita, which is the universal form. How many of you have read chapter 11 year before? Chapter 11? Yeah? We all have read one or the other time during Gita Jayanti or some other time we have read chapter 11. So, the Sishtastikam prayers are very important for us, and I humbly request everybody to learn them, to learn them, sing them every day. Very simplest way of learning them every day is sing them every day. Keep a printout in your altar and nicely sing them every single day. The last thing before you finish your prayers. And you will learn it. Within 1 week, you'll learn it. Why is Sishtastikam prayer so important? Can anybody tell? Enduku Sishtastikam prayer anta important enduku? Why should we learn it? Yes.
It depends. Like the Shloka is one stage of devotional service.
Yes. Every stage of devotional, life or surrender, Sharanagati, Mahaprabhu explains in a very beautiful way. And just think of anything. I'm not looking for a particular answer. Why do you think Sishtastikam prayer is so important? Because Mahaprabhu did not give any Shastra. He did not give any Shastra. In fact, he asked his disciples, 6 Goswamis, to write lots of Shastra. Right? He told them, fill the planet with Sandarbhas. Fill the planet with, so many explanations of the Vedic scriptures. And to unveil all the holy places, Does not Mahaprabhu know how to do it? He knows. Right? He didn't do it. He gave it to his disciples, his followers, his pure devotees. And he himself gave only 8 prayers. Just 8 prayers. And these 8 prayers are enough to understand the whole essence of bhakti. Right? Every scripture can be read as academic knowledge. Every scripture can be read as some kind of a speculative or not speculative, but happiness for the mind, right? Intellectual discussion, right? People like intellectual discussions. So people even read scriptures like intellectual discussions. But the way Mahaprabhu wanted to bring scriptures in our life is not academic, is not intellectual, it's pure surrender, pure bhakti. Every scripture, any explanation. In fact, International Society for Krishna Consciousness is absolutely focused, ISKCON is absolutely focused on devotion. We don't focus on Jnana Bhakti or Jnana Mishra Bhakti. In fact, we focus on Jnana Shunya Bhakti. Jnana is okay, but that is Shunya. That is of no use. Right? More important is Bhakti. Ultimately, if we are not getting Bhakti in our life, after all these endeavors of satsangs and learning and Bhakti Shastris, Bhakti Vaibhavs and I don't know what all we are doing, if we are not getting that Bhakti, then we have not understood why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared here for. Even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, people were discussing Bhagavad Gita. Right? People were discussing Bhagavatam. It was not like Bhagavatam was not there. Bhagavad Gita was not there. It was there. But what is the difference that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought to the scriptures? He purely brought out the essence of the purpose behind writing the scriptures. Why Lord Krishna spoke? Why Krishna spoke 11th chapter? What was the, Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter is there, right? It's all about opulences. We'll quickly read through. We'll not discuss it too much, but we'll try to focus on the essence, right? One is Krishna is giving the 11th chapter explaining his opulences. But what exactly do we need to understand what's happening in the heart of Krishna while he's telling this? That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita is a PhD of devotion. Prabhupada told that Bhagavad Gita is graduation and post-graduation is Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is PhD. Right? Because Bhagavad Gita is about what God wants us to do. Bhagavatam is about what his devotees do for him. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is about what God is thinking about his devotees in his mind. Right? It's a level of knowledge that is so much available for everybody, but people can understand it. That is why reading Chaitanya Charitamrita means a very advanced knowledge. Actually, that is something that sannyasis sit together and dwell into the love of God. Right? I heard some Sri Vaishnava sannyasis. They were sitting and reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, and they were saying, "This is pure devotion. This purest form of devotion." We sing Andal prayers, we sing, Gopi prayers, we sing all that. That is highest level of devotion, Gopi Bhava. But when they read Chaitanya Charitamrita, they actually see God's feeling towards devotion, God's mind towards devotion. Swayam Bhagavan, when he performs devotion, how he performs. Right? The highest. And this is the greatest rasa for all the sannyasis. Right? And this is a very, very high knowledge that we all have access to. That Lord Krishna, by Lord Krishna's mercy, we have got access to this knowledge. Otherwise, there is no way. And that is the reason when Prabhupada had one more heart attack after his Jaladuta, when his health really went through one real tough cycle, where almost Hare Krishna. Bro, you can sit in the chair, bro. Please. Yeah. Yeah. So when it went to a next level where Prabhupada actually felt that I might leave the planet. And devotees also, during that time, they felt when Prabhupada said, I'm going back to India, they started crying in US, literally crying. Said, Prabhupada, without you, what will happen to ISKCON? And ISKCON was just few years old. At that time, Prabhupada told, I have to go to India. I'm missing Vrindavana. And everybody was like, Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, I don't know whether I'll come back. I have to go. And Prabhupada actually came to India and took treatment. Right? And then when Prabhupada became a little better in his health, immediately he decided, before I leave, I have to give Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the urgency in which Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada gave Chaitanya Charitamrita was not understood by many of his disciples also at that time. Prabhupada just told, I want the Chaitanya Charitamrita, entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, Anta Lila, to be finished in 3 months. It is practically impossible even today. Even today with so much technology, internet and WhatsApp and so much sharing and so much information going around, even today it is impossible to do what Prabhupada asked them to do at that time. And they did it. The disciples of Prabhupada, literally, and Prabhupada is not sitting in one place and translating. He's going around the world and everywhere he stops, he sends a tape and the tape somehow finds its way to Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, they immediately translate it and the translation is happening, review is happening, everything is happening. And it is getting, chapter by chapter, shloka by shloka. And then Prabhupada is somewhere else in the world and it comes and finishes in 3 months. They took Chaitanya Charitamrita in front of Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada ho gaya. Finished. Right? Hari bol, Hari bol. That's the glory of his disciples. Right? Prabhupada depended on his disciples. And that's why Prabhupada has so much love for his disciples that he says that my disciples are sent by my Guru. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has sent them to help me. And why was Prabhupada so serious about giving Chaitanya Charitamrita is because without Chaitanya Charitamrita, we will not understand why he gave Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita also. It was so important for him to give Chaitanya Charitamrita. Are you all following what I'm saying? Some of you are kind of new here today. So please, hold on. If somebody is new first, how many are coming first time to Satsang here today? No, not to this house. First time to Satsang itself. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Well, you've been to Satsangs, right? You're good name, bro? Gopi, bro. Yeah. You've been to the voice center Satsangs, right? Yeah, so you've been. So don't say don't know Satsang. Yourself, bro? Yuvraj, bro. Hare Krishna. Yes. Thank you. So you all have been to Satsang. It's not like you have not. Yes, Mataji, how about you? First time? Your good name? Kalyani Mataji. Acha, acha. Go people also. And yourself, Mataji? Huh? Nitya Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Hare Krishna Mataji. So let us welcome all the new devotees with 3 loud Hari Bols. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So Prabhupada gave Chaitanya Charitamrita because without giving Chaitanya Charitamrita, what he gave in Bhagavatam, what he gave in Bhagavad Gita would not have been accepted in the mood in which he wrote the purports of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. You should understand that. Because there is Potana Bhagavatam, there is so many Bhagavatams, there are so many translations of Bhagavatam. But at the end, Prabhupada was only focusing on devotion. Only devotion. In fact, even in the purports of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada tries to bring the devotion, but when he gave Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada became very happy. Now I can leave. Now I can leave. I have given. And Prabhupada finished Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Prabhupada had a great desire to finish Bhagavatam also. But it was Lord's wish that the last 2 cantos, or rather 1.5 cantos, 2.5 cantos were finished by his disciples. But Prabhupada still gave the entire 10th canto in the form of Krishna book. He already gave. Even though part of Krishna book was done by his disciples, but they referred to everything that Prabhupada gave. And Prabhupada carried and he showed his disciples how to translate and give commentaries on scriptures. He actually showed with his own example. He used to carry the translations and commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, Sridhar Swami, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, literally holding big trunks. Wherever Prabhupada used to go, those big trunks used to go with him. And he would open all those books and then he would bring the essence of all the commentaries into his purports. Right? And that's exactly what his disciples also did. That is why, if you see 11th canto, how many here have read 11th canto? Some part of it at least. Anybody? Yeah. If you see 11th canto, the purports are huge. Because, see, till 10th canto, the Prabhupada disciples had Krishna book. When Prabhupada, it was a very humbling experience actually, right? Prabhupada left and they are going to write the purports. And writing purports is not easy. You have to have that blessing. And Prabhupada told many times that he has not written the purports, it's Krishna who was dictating. Right? And now his disciples, after hearing that, just imagine, after hearing that, they're asked to write purports and they're like, what should we write? Right? Of course, they're also pure devotees. Hridayananda Goswami Maharaj. And there is one more Maharaj. Gopi Padala. Huh? Sorry about that. Gopi Padana. Yeah, Paradana Prabhu, I think. I'm sorry about that, but they together somehow put it. So when they started translating the 11th canto, it was like they don't have Prabhupada's book, like Krishna book. Now they have to do the 11th canto by themselves. But they understood that they don't have to be there themselves. They just have to follow what Prabhupada did. And what Prabhupada used to do is to take Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, Ramanujacharya, Sridhar Swami, and all these commentaries. He used to see the essence and he used to put it down as purport. What they did, I'm not judging them, but actually you can feel it when you're reading it, is the 11th canto is divided into 2 books. And the first book, each purport is 14 pages. Because they were so humble, they just brought the whole thing there. They don't want to do anything with it. I don't know if you've seen that, but some purports are like 14 pages, 15 pages. It's as if you're reading one shloka, finishing one book. And then you're going to the next shloka. Right? Because they just wanted to do what Prabhupada did. And maybe I think somebody advised them that this way Bhagavatam will become 25 books. And when they went to the second part of the 11th canto, which is Uddhava Gita, they started bringing some essence of the purports. You can see the purport size going down and very specific explanation being given. And Prabhupada made sure that we all here have received the entire. Please come, please come. Is there a chair anywhere? Yeah. 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 Prabhupada made sure that we all have received entire Bhagavatam. We all have received entire. See how much our grandfather has taken care of us. Right? Grandfather has given good properties. Grandfather properties everybody likes, right? And as per the new law, we have full right on the grandfather's property. We can sue our father also. You know that, right? Grandfather's properties, we have that thing. Yeah. Just apply that same material formula in spiritual life. We have full right on Prabhupada's scriptures that he has given to us. Right? And we have to treat it with so much importance. Yesterday was Subbarao Prabhu's birthday. 3 Haribol Subbarao Prabhu. Haribol! Haribol! Yes. One of the amazing things that I learned from Subbarao Prabhu is his conviction to continue reading Bhagavatam and spreading the same mood of reading Bhagavatam. Really. That's Mahesh Prabhu. Mahesh Prabhu ki. Hare Krishna. No, I mean, we have to understand why it is such an important work, because that's what pleases Prabhupada. When we read his books, it pleases Prabhupada. Sorry. Somebody locked the door. It's coming in the way. So why is it such an important activity? And as I told you, Prabhupada sacrificed his life for giving Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And if you are reading that, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. Is settled now? And if you are reading that, that is the greatest service we are doing for Prabhupada. There is nothing more important than service. See, ultimately, these satsangs we are conducting on Sunday evenings are for what? For me to sit here and speak some variety way of presenting scriptures, or to, make sure that everybody is sitting properly and hearing. See, ultimately, it should motivate us to go and read Bhagavatam. Ultimately, it should motivate us to read Chaitanya Charitamrita and all the Prabhupada's books. How many here have read at least one Prabhupada small book? Completely. So I can see a lot of you who have not read one Prabhupada small book. So my humble request is, in this year 2022, you are going to finish all Prabhupada small books. Is it possible? Yeah. Please resolute determination to yourself that I am going to finish all Prabhupada small books. Just say that to yourself. I am going to. Let's say that I am going to finish Prabhupada all small books. I am going to read them all. Right? Or you have a daily call scheduled by Shri Giriraj Prabhu. You can join that. Automatically you'll finish. He'll forcefully somehow finish it for you. That's another way of doing it. When you can't do it, you join a group who are already doing it, and you just become part of it. Like yesterday and today, some devotees struggled and survived and are still existing after 12 slokas recitation. Right? One devotee called from Mayapur saying, Prabhu, I'm not doing it. Raju Prabhu. Because I'm traveling. I'm like, why are you not doing it? Prabhu, I actually didn't read it. My God. But when we are part of the whole stream of together, when we are in it, we'll finish it. Otherwise, we'll never finish it. Bhakti Shastri kabhi nahi hoga. Shlokas will never finish. Can go this. Please. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yeah, please feel comfortable. For some of you are coming here for the first time, it might sound very dangerous to see so many people in a single house. But that's okay. Our death rate is 0 so far in the last 8 years. Anyway, so the point is, we have to read the scriptures. But more importantly, while we are reading, try to understand the essence of it. And the essence of it is taught in ISKCON society. And we should not miss it. Right? Now we're going to read the 11th chapter. I'm not going to discuss the whole thing, but at the end we'll discuss the essence of it. Okay? Okay. We'll just go with the translations for today. I'm going to read the translations and you all can focus without any disturbance. Can we all do that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll read very slowly. Or if somebody has a mic, one by one person can read it. You have a mic? Does it work?
Hare
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Okay, so we'll start from here. All the Prabhus can go till the end. Whoever is comfortable to read, and then you can pass it on to the Matasis. Okay? Yeah. Shrida, you can start.
Arjuna said, by hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these
Most confidential.
for these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled.
Yeah, wait a second. I'll do something better than this is. Yeah, where is that Internet Explorer sitting? Yeah, here it is. Yes. My humble request is read it slowly so everybody can understand and clearly. Okay. There, no? Why? No, it's being cut because of the projector, not because of.
You can see on the S.
Can you move the projector a little bit? Oh, this one is also. No. This text has to go inside. Little that side. Yeah. I think we are good. Yeah. So now everybody can. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Loud project, loud and clear, please.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories.
Who is speaking here, Haribol? Okay, are you all focused? This is a very important conversation happening between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, where Arjuna is going to ask Lord Krishna to show his, like Vishwaroop, and after that he is going to explain what he saw. Right? So please, everybody focus, settle down. I can see a lot of them moving. Just settle down. Yeah. Go ahead, Pooja. Third.
O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours.
Haribol. Text 4.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self.
Haribol. Krishna didn't even show it. Yeah. Text 5.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine, and multicolored forms.
Haribol. How many want to see hundreds and varieties of multicolored forms and want to see Haribol? So please focus now.
O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all other demigods. Behold the many wonderful.
Wait, 1 minute. We need some. Yeah.
O best of the Bharatas, see here the different
Loud. I want everybody who is taking the mic to read it loud. So at least some part of the fall ceiling should fall. Okay, it should be loud. Okay, loud and clear. Yeah.
O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before.
Hari Bol. Yes. Who is the next? Go ahead. Yeah, keep passing on. Loud.
O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely in one place.
Hare Krishna. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely at one place. Unbelievable. Text 8. Yeah.
But you cannot see me with your present eyes, therefore I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence.
Opulence. Okay. Who is reading? Read it loud. Text 9.
Sanjaya said, O king, having spoken thus, the Supreme Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna.
Hare Krishna.
It's 10 and 11. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine unpraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding.
Text 12.
If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form.
Text 13. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansion of the universe, situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. 14. Then bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord.
Text 15. Arjuna said, My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents.
Text 16.
Text
Go ahead.
Text 16. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see you in no end, no middle, and no beginning.
Text 17. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs.
Mataji, you are next. Text 18. Yeah. There are many forms obstructing the universal form.
Text 18. You are the supreme primeval objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion.
Hari Bol. 19. Text 19. You can't read from there? Okay, somebody here can pass on the mic here.
I will read from
Text 19.
origin, middle, and or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and the moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance.
Hare Krishna. Text 20. Please be ready. Whoever is going to read next? Okay, so that we'll not waste time in between.
Text 20. Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O great one, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed.
Text 21. All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying, all peace, or praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns.
Text 22.
Text 22. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwadevas, the two Ashvis, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder.
Text 23.
O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are distributed, so I am. Disturbed, so I am. Sorry.
So am I.
Text 24. O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind.
Text 25.
O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance, seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth in all directions. I am bewildered. Text 26 and 27. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouths. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth.
Text 28. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths.
Text 29.
Text 29. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire.
Go back. Give it back. You already read.
Text 30. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays.
Text 31. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisance unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not to know what your mission is.
Text 32.
Text 32. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Time I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers are here, are both sides will be slain." Hare Krishna.
Text 33.
Text 33. Therefore get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight.
Text 34.
Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha,
Karna and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle.
Text 35. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands and again he fearfully spoke to the Lord Krishna, flattering voice as follows.
Text 36. Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done.
Text 37. Great one, greater even than you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer the respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God's refuge of the universe, you are the invisible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to its material manifestation.
Text 38. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you.
You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again and yet again.
Text 40.
Text 40. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of the limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything.
Hare Krishna. Text 41, 42. Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses.
Hare Krishna. Text 43. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then can there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power?
Hare Krishna. Text 44. You are the Supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend, the impertinence of the friend, or a husband, the familiarity of his wife. Please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you.
Shloka 45. Sorry. Okay, Shloka 45. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe.
Text 46. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head, with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
Text 47. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you have ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence."
I request all Matajis in the bedroom to come out, please.
Text 48. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world.
Text 49. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire.
Text 50. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna.
Text 51. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, "O Janardana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature."
Text 52. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form which is so dear."
Text 53. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am.
Text 54. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding.
Text 55.
Yeah, this one I want everyone to repeat after Mataji. You can read 3 words at a time.
Okay, Prabhuji. My dear Arjuna,
My dear Arjuna,
he who engages in my pure devotional service,
he who engages in my pure devotional service,
free from the contaminations of fruitive activities,
free from the contaminations of fruitive activities
and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me.
Hare Krishna. So this actually, this 11th chapter, 55th verse is one of the most important verses, as many of the acharyas in different sampradayas have told that in one way this is also the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Prashanti Mataji, Dandot Pranam, any discussion happening? No, humbly request all Matajis to please come outside and let's focus on the class. You all can have other discussions after the satsang also. Okay, my humble request. Please repeat after me. Mat karma krin mat paramo. Mad bhakta sangha varjita. Nirvairya nirvairasa sarva bhuteshu. Yatsa mam eti pandava. Yatsa mam eti pandava. Yes, my dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation. He who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Yes. So, so basically here Lord Krishna is concluding the devotional service is the highest, and the whole purpose of him showing the universal form is to get attracted to devotional service, right? Nana, you can come and sit here. Yeah, please. That's what my class teacher is to do. Yeah, see, all problems solved. Yeah, yeah. So the point is, yeah, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of life, Hare Krishna, and who is friendly with every living being, he certainly comes to me. Now, when we hear this whole universal form, as you would have, as when everybody were reading single verse, you must have also seen how great is Krishna, right? It's very evident. Is there anybody in the whole cosmic universe who can claim those sentences, or what Arjuna has seen? All the devatas are around him, right? Lord Shiva, Ashwini Kumaras, everybody, you know, he could see endless mouths, endless ears, endless body. And finally he says, I am that eternal time, Aham Kalosmi, who is the destruction of everything, who can destroy everything without our knowledge. Can anybody claim that? Nobody can claim. And the Supreme Lord, he wants to do whatever he wants to do, he'll do. Nobody can stop him. That's also true, right? He's completely Atma Rama. He's self-satisfied within himself, right? Nobody can tell him what needs to be done. Whatever he does is dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whatever he says is dharma. Whatever he does is dharma. Whatever he says is not, that is adharma, right? Now, understanding this 11th chapter, the universal form, one way of looking is we have understood God. Right? He is a supreme. Aham sarvasva prabho matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhujante mam buddha bhava samvitaha. He is the source of material, spiritual, everything. This is one way of understanding. Right? But now from the graduation, when we go to post-graduation, in Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna speaks something different. Right? Now let us try to meditate on this verse. Please repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. This is 9th canto, 4th chapter, 63rd verse. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Aham Bhakta Paradhino. He Ashvantantra Eva Dvij. Sadhubhir Grasta Hridayo. Bhaktair Bhakta Janapriya. Please repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Aham, I, Bhakta Paradhina. I am dependent on the will of my devotees. He, indeed, Asvatantra. Asvatantra. I am not independent. Eva. Exactly like that. Dvija. O Brahmana. Sadhubhi. My pure devotees. Completely free from all material desires. Grasta Hridaya. My heart is controlled. Bhaktai. Because they are devotees. Bhakta Janapriya. I am dependent not only on my devotee, but also my devotee's devotee. The devotee's devotee is extremely dear to me. Now, who is the Supreme Person here? Isn't it? Isn't it confusing? Right? At one end, we are reading the Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, that's it. Right? Let me be a servant of your bhakta. On one side, you are reading the universal form. The other side, where he's completely independent, right? Where nobody, Arjuna is like, Band karo, I can't take your radiance. I just want you to see in your original form. Right? All devatas are coming out of you. That you are the time, destructing everything, destroying everything. You are the creator, you are the maintainer, you are everything. Another side he says, I am completely dependent on my devotee's devotee. So who is independent here? In this whole cosmic manifestation, who is independent? Devotee? Devotee is also not independent. Devotee is also not independent. Who is independent?
Devotee.
Prabhus and Matajis, it's a great understanding to understand that there cannot be anybody independent in this whole cosmic manifestation, including the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are all interconnected. But he is the Supreme Person, controlling everyone. But he also completely becomes dependent on the love of his devotees. Right? This is the understanding Srila Prabhupada gave to this world and left. And this is the highest understanding of God. The greatness of God is not about how people project that he is the strongest of the strongest, most knowledgeable, most opulent, most renunciate, most famous, most knowledgeable. That is one understanding. But that is not the understanding that God wants us to have. God gave that understanding to Arjuna. And we understand that he is a Supreme Person. But in Bhagavatam he says, I am completely dependent on my devotees. We have to learn, in today's class today, we have to learn how much Krishna is teaching us through his actions, how we have to lead our life when we are dealing with this world, how we have to lead our life. See, today the biggest problem is independence. And the feeling that I am in control of everything. That is a very big sick disease that's on this planet. But that's not the way Krishna himself functions. Even though he's the most independent, he does not function independently. He functions in a very dependent way. And we all also, when we function in a dependent way, our life will be peaceful. I'll give an example. Husband and wife. One of the gross assumptions the husband thinks or the wife thinks is that by me and my behavior, I can affect the behavior of my spouse. Or with my speech, I can correct her or him. Don't we think like that? నేను చెప్తే అర్థం చేసుకుంటాడు. నేను చెప్తే అర్థం చేసుకుంటాడు. నేను చెప్తే అర్థం చేసుకోవా? Isn't it? And ultimately we get frustrated when we understand that నేను చెప్తేనే అర్థం చేసుకోడు. Right? Then what do you do? When you know that your spouse is not understanding what you are speaking, what do you do? Spontaneous answer. Huh? I'm telling you, Prabhupada and Matajis. Yeah, please come. Yeah. You can, there are at least 50 people can fit there. So you can please come, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Mataji, you can sit down, please. Yeah, please settle down. Yeah. Yeah, so we think, I'll tell you, that is a problem. There is a big problem there which you are not seeing. We think that we can fix the problems. And that's a very big problem. You cannot fix problems. You have to take help to fix problems. You have to engage the right people to fix problems, right? But today's generation is being taught that if you can't fix the problem, then you create problem, right? Husband cannot make the wife understand, and the husband thinks, I don't need this wife. Simple. Wife thinks that my husband doesn't understand when I'm saying, so he's not the right husband. Well, that's not the way our culture functions. It is very natural that the husband will never understand his wife. It is very natural that the wife will not understand the husband, but there is somebody else who can make her understand. Simple. Can Krishna create a mountain he cannot lift? Yes or no? If he cannot create a mountain that he cannot lift, then he is not God. And if he does not lift that mountain, then he is not God. Can Krishna create a mountain that he cannot lift? Yes, he can. Yes, he can, but Balram will lift. Balram is an expansion of Krishna. Please understand that even Krishna expands himself into many, many expansions to run the universe. And he also engages others. He also engages others to do certain activities, right? Stop the share here. Yeah. Can you switch off the projector? You don't need the projector. Yeah. Double 2 times. 1, 2. Yeah. Right? So please understand the very important thing that we're going to discuss today is how is God really independent or dependent? And are we really independent or dependent? And in what way will we be happy? By being independent or by being dependent? When we are independent and we are thinking that we are independent, we become responsible for all our actions. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Bhakti Shastri exam. Anyway, so the point is, here Lord Krishna is saying that a conditioned person thinks that he is independent and he thinks that he is the doer, but actually these are being carried out by the modes of mental nature. So is he not the doer? He is the doer. He is the doer as long as he is not thinking that he is independent. If he thinks that he is independent from the entire universe, if he thinks that he is completely independent from everything, independent of God, then he is in trouble. That's where he says, Ahankara Vimud Atma, Ahamkara, where he thinks that I am the doer. I'm completely am. See, Arjuna did not fight the war thinking that he is fighting the war. He thought that he was made to understanding that he is doing it representing Krishna. Right? We should also lead our life in a way that we are representing Krishna. Then we are not in trouble. Our karma will not have any reactions. Right? Whereas if I think that I am the doer, I'm actually the reason why everything is happening, and I will take the credit for what is happening, then ultimately I'm responsible also. Are you following what I'm saying? You're ultimately responsible also. And because you're responsible, you're accountable also. And then you suffer life after life, janma mrityu jara vyadhi. Simple. Whereas if you function, keeping God in the center, keeping his devotees in the center, and take help from them, and do your activities, keeping them also along with you, not only will you lead a happy life, but you will not be totally responsible for what's happening. You are taking shelter of their guidance. You are taking shelter of their experience. You know what I'm saying? You're understanding what I'm saying? Krishna himself shows that in his own activities. Let me take some examples. Okay, this is a little advanced concept, but you'll understand with some examples. After the Mahabharat war, the ghastly war, where crores were killed. Crores. Unbelievable. We can't even imagine that what happened on that, war field. Right? If you take 1 acre of people, how many people will fit in 1 acre of land? If you make them stand, how many will fit? 1 acre of land. 4,800 square yards. कितने लोग खड़ा कर सकते हैं उसमें? 1 lakh? He's a ISKCON devotee. Yeah, maybe, maybe 10,000. And if you make them lift their hands, maybe another 1,000 will come in. Right? So 11,000, 12,000. Right? But just imagine on that battlefield of Kurukshetra, 11 plus how many? 11 plus 7 Akshohinis of Sena were there in that Kurukshetra. And it's explained that when Karna in one day he killed more than 23 crore people in one day. Can you imagine anything like that happening around us? Right? What is happening in Ukraine and Russia is what? It's like one small, Adirati is fighting in one corner. That's all. That was the ghastly war that happened in that Kurukshetra. Right? In that Mahabharata. And Yudhishthir saw all this. And Yudhishthir is Dharmaraj. He can't take that much. He can't see that much violence. Nana, you have something to say? Yeah? Okay. What should I do now? You can sit there. Oh, you are creating question here also. Please, if you have a question, we can discuss. Yeah. So Yudhishthir saw all this. And when he was seeing all this, he was not liking the war. Because Dharmaraj, he's very happy and satisfied with whatever he gets. Throughout his life, for more than 130 years, or maybe 125 plus years, he was living in forest and he had no complaint about it. He had no complaint about it. He was like, okay, whatever I get. I was born in the forest. He was born in forest only. When Pandu Maharaj left that kingdom, all the 5 Pandavas were born in forest. So we are forest people. No problem. But when this war was happening, Yudhishthir was like, my God, why is this? Why are they doing this? And he felt that he is responsible for the war. In many, many ways. If I would have not played that Dyuta, for which I am regretting, this war would have not happened. And what is the big deal about making me the great king when my uncle is anyway there? Dhritarashtra is already there. It's okay if he continues as king. For me to make the king, for me to become the emperor, all this is happening. He was totally devastated. After the entire Mahabharata, the Pattabhishekam had to happen when he was supposed to be crowned as the emperor, and he's completely unconvinced and he's sitting there saying, I don't think I want to be the emperor. And who came to convince him? Krishna also came. Narad Muni came. And Narad Muni came. Vyasdev came. Not ordinary people. Huh? Vyasdev, who has completely translated all the Vedas, or compiled all the Vedas, is sitting and explaining that he should become the king as per the Vedanta. And Yudhishthir says, I'm not convinced. It's not a simple incident. Narad Muni comes and he explains, Yudhishthir, understand that you're Dharmaraj, you're not the reason. You're not the reason why the war happened. Understand that war had to happen, whether or not you are part of it. The war had to happen. I'm not convinced. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, comes and explains, Yudhishthir, you should take the throne. And then he says, Krishna, you are telling, so I'll take the throne. You are telling, so I'll take the throne. He actually took the throne. He became the king, emperor of the world. But he's sitting on the throne and is completely filled with tears, red eyes. I'm not convinced to be the emperor after all this bloodshed. I'm not. I don't think I should be. Just imagine the heart of Yudhishthir. I mean, no ordinary person will have that kind of heart. He is sitting on the throne of become the emperor. All the devatas are coming and visiting him, saying, Tadastu, Brahma, Shiva. Everybody is coming. And he is still saying, I'm not happy to be here. Now, what should Krishna do? So Krishna is sitting in Hastinapur and he is thinking, what should I do? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he's sitting in his room and is meditating. And then Yudhishthira goes to his room. Hey Krishna, whom are you meditating on? Who are you meditating on? And Krishna opens his eyes, says, I am thinking about my pure devotee, Bhishma. He's still in the battlefield. I'm just thinking about him. And then Yudhishthira says, I'm feeling so much pain. Krishna, you can imagine what I'm going through. See what I have done to my grandfather also. Right? He's in the battlefield. There is no blood anymore in that body. It's completely bloodless. And then Krishna says, Yudhishthira, let's go and meet your grandfather. Because he is going to give you the solution. What I could not do, of course, Krishna didn't say this, but see what Krishna is teaching all of us. Even though being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he took his disciple to another disciple, another great Mahajan. He took him there. Krishna could have told Bhagavad Gita to Yudhishthira in the same place. But he did not tell Bhagavad Gita there. He told that to Arjuna in the battlefield. But after the battlefield, he did not tell Bhagavad Gita. He told, let's go to Bhishma. Then Krishna took Yudhishthira, and along with him all the Pandavas and the great sages, everybody went, and Bhishma is waiting for that moment, for that Uttarayana. And more than Uttarayana, he is waiting for Krishna. Right? Can you imagine? His entire life, he dedicated and he sacrificed for glorifying Krishna, being his enemy. And Krishna wanted to glorify Bhishma on his deathbed, removing the misconception that he fought against me. He wanted to remove that. That his reciprocation to Bhishma. In one activity, see how many things Krishna is doing. Right? Everybody misunderstands Bhishma, that Bhishma actually fought for Pandavas. Sorry, for Kauravas. Right? Bhishma actually tolerated the disrobing of or insult of Draupadi. But no. Actually, the Acharya explained that Bhishma did all that to prove one point to the world, that if anybody, even as powerful as Bhishma, does adharma, he will be brought down. And the best example was Bhishma himself. There could not have been any better example. So his entire life he sacrificed for setting this one principle by God, that I am sacrificed to prove one point, that if in future anybody like me or powerful than me does adharma, he is going to get the punishment. To prove that he sacrificed life. And now Krishna is taking Yudhishthira to Bhishma to glorify Bhishma, that what nobody could convince Yudhishthira, Bhishma is going to do that. And Bhishma on his deathbed, literally with practically no body left, no organ left. It's like lump of flesh, which is kind of rotten, right? With all the arrows everywhere on his body. In that consciousness, he is going to speak the greatest principles of dharma. See, I'm just sharing, my father recently had brain hemorrhage. So I can see him after 6 months, he's still not completely in his senses. You can relate to that, Prasad Prabhu, right? Sometimes he speaks something, sometimes he speaks something, sometimes he's saying a different name only. So how much can we get affected by one organ going into trouble? And look at Bhishma's situation. He had no organ only. Right? It is explained the arrows were so fiercely, shooted by Arjuna that he could not keep a finger in between the arrows. There was no space for keeping a finger in between the arrows. Can there be any organ left? Nothing. But still, in that pain, he was still totally Krishna conscious. That is why he is Bhishma. He is a Mahajan. And then the words of wisdom that he spoke, there is a whole chapter on how Bhishma explains Yudhishthir what is the highest dharma, being a king, and why he deserves to be a king even in this situation, and why he should not feel that he is guilty to be a king. And finally, Krishna tells Yudhishthir, the final instruction, he says, hey Yudhishthir, you are not seeing the person who is standing beside you. You are not properly seeing him. Why can't you just depend on that person? Shri Krishna. Now before I die, please chant his 1,000 names. And Yudhishthir started chanting Vishnu Sahasra Nama, which we all chant even now. So in this example, so beautifully, Krishna is telling us that we also need to take help from others. Everything you cannot do. God himself is dependent on his devotees. Right? We are not teaching our children that they have to depend on others. Are we teaching our children? What is the metal education teaching? You cannot do, so jump from the building. Isn't it? You cannot do, it doesn't work, get rid of that relationship. He is not agreeing to you, so you don't need him anymore. Is that not the way we are seeing our life these days? Yeah? What happens if your wife doesn't agree with you? It's okay. Bring somebody who will make her agree. That's what Krishna does. Did Krishna not do that? He did it, na? When Yudhishthira is not ready to understand that he has to run the kingdom with the right spirit. See, sitting on the throne is one thing. Sitting on the throne happily and ruling and doing justice is another thing. Just making Yudhishthira, sit on the kingdom, on the throne was not the goal of Krishna. What was the goal of Krishna? Dharma samsthapanarthaya. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. He has to establish the religious principles again. He has to make it work. And he has to have a system, the right leaders to make it work. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He himself appears and establishes dharma, and he also makes sure that there is somebody to maintain that dharma. And he had to make sure that Yudhishthira is properly establishing the dharma. He himself is Dharmaraj, and he is happy to do that. And to do that, he took full help from Bhishma. And how many times has God done that? He can do it, but he made his devotees do it. How many times? Can you tell one more example, anybody? Just think about it. He can do it, but he made his devotees do it. Ramayana, Hanuman. Can't Ram jump from Tamil Nadu to Sri Lanka? Forget about jumping. He'll tell like this, Sri Lanka will come here. Ram will be like, hey, where am I? Isn't it? Ram can do anything. But still, he said, Hanuman, you go. Why Ram did that? Why Ram wanted Hanuman to jump and go and speak and do all that and come? Huh? Glorify his devotees. And he wanted Mother Sita to meet Hanuman. If he would have gone, where will Hanuman be there? He wanted Hanuman to get the blessings of Mother Sita. Go. You think really Mother Sita is scared sitting there, my husband will come or not? No. Baba, think about it. She is Lakshmi. And Ram is Narayan. Lakshmi Narayan, you cannot put Lakshmi Narayan in tension. Or rather, Lakshmi cannot be put by Narayan into tension, or Narayan cannot put Lakshmi into tension. But their devotee can put them in tension. Right? Because they are dependent on the devotee. Right? Hanuman Hanumanji put Ram into tension when he said, I will go and find Sita. Right? And he went to Mother Sita and he told, okay, I'll take you with me now. Come with me. And Sita says, no. I want Ram in tension. You go. Tell Ram that I'm waiting for him. In 13 days, if it doesn't come and take me, I'm going to commit suicide. Finish. Hanuman immediately has to go. But the whole reason why Ram asked Hanumanji to jump is because he wanted a beautiful Kanda in Ramayana, and the name is Sundarakanda. He wanted that Sundarakanda. Whenever somebody reads my Ramayana, it's not about me, it's about my devotees. I am dependent on my devotees. I am dependent on my devotees. Once again, he can go and speak, he can go and make it work, but he is putting his devotees as friend. When we are in trouble in our spiritual life, put devotees back into your life. Don't disarray yourself or don't go away from devotees. When you are in trouble in a relationship, go speak to your parents. Go speak to your... become dependent, Re Baba. Become dependent. This independent attitude is killing our society. Become dependent. And when you become dependent, that supremely independent God will become happy that this person is becoming dependent. Right? Our material education, our society is teaching us independent. And God himself is showing that he is dependent. And by so being dependent, everything becomes beautiful. Your life, your entire existence will become beautiful. He can do it. God can do it. But he is telling us, just like him being dependent, you also be dependent. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Except you're hearing dependent. I'm too many times using those two words. When Lord Krishna did Samudra Manthan Leela, he could have independently finished it. But he said, I have to glorify somebody out of this whole Leela. Vaishnavanam Shambho. He does it. He makes, the Devatas and the Asuras pull the, snake, Vasuki, right? What is that snake name? Vasuki. And after all that, he knows that the poison is going to come now. Hala. And he looks for Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva has to be glorified. Can't Krishna drink the poison? He can drink anything and nothing will happen to him. Right? But he wants to glorify Lord Shiva. Again, putting his devotee in the front. Right? Bringing him into picture. Right? I'll tell you, Prabhupada Mataji, our satsang is very nice and good for us because we have devotees in our life. After coming into satsang, we should take help of each other. Don't be shy. Shyness is a gross form of false ego. Nothing else. Right? Oh, he's very shy. Ante what false ego 50 kgs unnadi. Right? Shy, he's very sentimental. Oh, she's very sentimental. Speak very nicely, Prabhu. Otherwise, suddenly she'll start crying. What does it mean? False ego is 150 kgs. Okay? You have to let go those things. Why do we lift our hands? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. See your arms completely up, completely, whatever stretch. If you have frozen shoulder, also try your best, whatever can push up, right? Keep go. But some people, when the weight is more, they go like this. False ego weight. Then more weight like this. Full weight. Hare Krishna, Potle Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Still some people weight is not going up. వదిలేయండి అహంకారాన్ని, ఈ శరీరం మీద ఉన్న అందాన్ని, దాని ఆలోచనలని పడేసేయండి దరిద్రం. హరే కృష్ణ, కృష్ణ కృష్ణ, హరే హరే, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let go. Give it to the devotees. Right? When I have trouble in my family, I go to a devotee. When I have no trouble in my family, I go to a devotee. Right? We should always go to devotees when you have a trouble. Because I'll tell you what is the trouble. Your false ego is the trouble. That's all. There is no other trouble. Your false ego is the trouble. You want to fix the problem, go to a devotee. He'll fix it. Take shelter. Exactly like the way Lord Krishna is telling us, bring devotees into your life. Right? Even, let's take the example of Kurukshetra itself. Krishna could have finished the entire war just by looking at Kauravas into ashes. What did he do? He engaged Pandavas. Isn't it? He had to go through so much to engage Pandavas. It was not easy. It was not like, hum achhe bacche, tum jo bologe hum karenge. Nahin. It was not that easy. Bhima was one character. Yudhishthira is one character. Arjuna is one unbelievable character. Right? Full education given, training certificate given, Bhakti Shastri given. Everything. Arjuna had Bhakti certificate also. Right? He did everything. Pura ho gaya. Now he said, okay, now you are assigned to the project, billable resource, start the work. You know Arjuna saying? Huh? Just imagine, in this Krishna have a backup resource? He completely invested Arjuna only. Only one. That technology only Arjuna knows. Just imagine the situation. If you think resource management is a problem, think what kind of resource management Krishna was doing. Just imagine he is dealing with Pandavas. Arjuna completely, he is the person who can make the difference. He's saying, I don't think I should do the war. Instead, what will he do? Instead, he'll go attrition, immediate. Instead, he'll go to jungle and sit there. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Just see what kind of people he's dealing with. Krishna is dealing, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is dealing with Arjuna, whom he completely trusted. And it's like, I have to hear I need retraining now, new training now to start the war. And other side is Yudhishthira. Given a chance, he'll go to home. Like, I don't want this war. And this side is Bhima. Without telling, he'll go and kill. I don't need any conch shell also. This 108 people I'm going to kill. Hey, Baba, wait. How many things he is managing on the floor? That is Krishna. Does he have to do all this? One Sudarshan Chakra, finish. Pura khatam karke wapas aayega. Isn't it? 13 Akshohinis, finish. One afternoon, finish war. 18 days, he doesn't have to go through. But Krishna still went through. Right? He engaged his devotees. He had to engage Pandavas and go through all that and make them win the war, because that is how you establish dharma. Again, dependent on devotees. Isn't it? He is independent, but dependent on devotees. To re-establish. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Swayam Krishna, appearing in the mood of Radha. Come here to teach devotion. He can speak the entire Shastra. Right? When he spoke to Prabodhananda Saraswati or some big scholars, they understood. My God, nobody can debate with this Nimai Pandit. He's like, and that same Nimai Pandit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just lifts his hands and says, I don't know any Shastra. I'm just going to depend on my devotees. Hey Roop Sanatan, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta, Jiva, please go and write Shastra. I have given my 8 prayers. And the 8 prayers are something that I could only do. You do the remaining. Right? Can't Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unveil the holy places? He can. He himself was there in that holy place. He himself was playing there. He could have just gone. I was sitting here, I was playing here. Here I was with Radharani. Here I was with Sudama, Sridhama. He can finish. Entire excavation, archaeologist department closed in one day. Right? Whereas what he did, he asked the Goswamis, no, you go and unveil the places. Right? He likes to be dependent. He likes to be dependent on his devotees. We also have to like to be dependent on devotees. Because that is where the false ego sits. When I don't want to depend on anybody, I want to take my decisions on my own. I want to fix my life on my own. I think I am the ultimate controller, ultimate concluder, whatever, terminator. Right? I am the final conclusion. No, it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. You have to be dependent on others, whether you like it or not. And by the way, you cannot fix all the problems. तुम्हारे बात करने से सभी लोग नहीं समझ सकते. నువ్వు మాట్లాడింది అందరికి అర్థం కాదు. నల్లెంటికలున్నా తెల్లెంటికలున్నా ఇంకే కలర్ పెట్టుకున్నా నువ్వు మాట్లాడింది ఎవరికి అర్థం కాదు. You getting my point? We have to learn to be dependent. Very important. And that is the reason we have this satsang. That is the reason we have this satsang. One more instance. Uddhava. Uddhava is a cousin of Krishna. And is a disciple of Brahaspati. Meaning he is a king of knowledge. In fact, Krishna would go to Uddhava and tell Uddhava, what is your opinion? Can you please tell? So many times in Bhagavatam, he says, Uddhava, can you please tell your opinion? And that Uddhava, when he felt that he is the most closest to Krishna and the most intimate with Krishna, what did Krishna do? Okay, so he needs to get a lesson. So he can sit down and tell Uddhava everything, right? Krishna can make Uddhava sit down and explain that your understanding is not right. Your devotion towards me is not the highest. Your devotion is mixed with jnana. Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Uddhava's problem was Jnana Mishra Bhakti. And Gopi's Bhakti is Jnana Shunya Bhakti. I don't want any Jnana. I am completely, totally Krishna conscious. And to tell that to Uddhava, what did Krishna do? Did he tell another Gita? Yes, he did tell Uddhava Gita. He did tell Uddhava Gita. But then he also told Uddhava, can you go and do a small work for me? Go to Vrindavan and please go meet my parents. And there are some gopis. I am missing them a lot. Go tell them that I am missing them. Right? So he sends Uddhava with a mission of going and consoling and telling them that he is going to come. And Uddhava, thinking that he is one of the most intelligent and the most closest to Krishna and the most intimate with Krishna, goes to Vrindavan thinking, I am going to tell them what is devotion, how to behave. Right? I am going to tell them. I am going to tell gopis, don't cry. I am going to tell Yashoda, don't worry. I am going to tell the Brajvasis, how to perform devotion. And Uddhava goes there. Uddhava goes there. And he is speechless. He does not know what to do when he sees the gopis in the way they are. We can't discuss that in this class. Some things are very advanced to even explain, and I don't think I can. But in summary, Uddhava just surrenders. Krishna, if I would have not come to Vrindavan, I would not have understood the greatest devotion that ever can be, which is Gopi's devotion. All my knowledge is an obstacle for me. All my knowledge is knowledge about you, your opulence, your greatness, your powers, your energies, and all this is a problem for me to handle now. And what does Uddhava tell? What is the greatest boon he asks, staying and sitting in Vrindavan? He says, I want to become a creeper of grass. I want to become a creeper of grass in Vrindavan, some corner of Vrindavan. It's not like he was saying in front of the Gopi's house. No. In front of Krishna's house. No, he was not even particular about location. He said, just let me become a small creeper of grass in some part of Vrindavan where the Gopis will come and step on me. And I will receive their dust of the lotus feet. And that's enough for me. And he was serious about it. How many here want to ask that benediction? Want to become a creeper of grass? Anybody? It will actually happen. After this life being MBA, CA, whatever, next life you will be creeper of grass. Anybody here? See? We can do our self-test by reading Bhagavatam, by seeing the prayers of the devotees, how devotional they were. Right? Krishna showed Uddhava by sending him to Vrindavan how much he is dependent on his devotees, and Uddhava came back and told how much he is dependent on Krishna's devotees to get the mercy of love. You know, those devotees have to step on me, and then I will receive some part of the love that they have for you. Right? Again, completely dependent on each other. Krishna teaches us how to be, how to exist, how to evolve, how to remain dependent on each other in this world, not to become independent. Sadhus are the people who completely depend on the universe, not independent. Though they look renounced, sitting in a jungle, you know, going away from everything, but they appreciate the dependence on each other. We also are dependent on what is coming inside. Hare Krishna. You should have covered that thing, Prabhuji. The one at the end. Hare Krishna. Right? Yeah. So it's very important to understand that Uddhava ultimately understood that I cannot achieve the highest devotion of Krishna independently. Right? He understood that I am dependent on the mercy of the devotees of Krishna. Did he understand that? Did he not conclude that? We all should go to Govardhan, you know, and even now there is Uddhava Kund. Right? How many here have gone to Uddhava Kund? Yeah. Yes, we should go there and take the water and throw it on our head, you know, and sit there and do one round of chanting, or maybe 16 rounds of chanting. Some devotees go there and do 64 rounds of chanting, just sitting there, Uddhava Kund. Because that is pure surrender. There cannot be anything higher than that, where he's not even asking for a position or nobody will know that, you know, the grass exists there. Come on. When you all were walking into this complex, did you not see grass there on the left side? Did you care for it? Is there any important person here? You don't even care for it. You just walked in, isn't it? And that is the situation, that is the position that Uddhava is seeking to be in Vrindavan, where he doesn't need to be even noticed. And Gopis will just walk on me. Once in a while, maybe they'll walk on me. And whenever they walk, I'm happy with that, because Krishna, that devotion that Gopis have for you, nobody can have for you. He saw mad Gopis, literally mad, you know, like talking to themselves. Yeah, come in. You can give that to him. Yeah. Completely, you know, in a material way, you can't understand why Gopis are behaving like that. You can't understand. There is a reason I'm not discussing those things. Because some of us may not be ready to hear that kind of loving exchange. What the Gopis had for Krishna, we cannot appreciate. We have so many problems with our spouses. What will we understand? How the best spouse behaves with the best spouse. If you hear that, how many Sitas are there here and how many Rams are there here? Is anybody Ram this side, left side? Anybody Sita here this side? Huh? When Ram told, I'm going to Vanavas, I have been asked to go to Vanavas, Sita did not tell, go file a case against your father. Say, I'm coming with you. If any of your husbands decide, tell tomorrow I'm resigning, let's go to one. How many people are ready to, okay, Andy, tell them. How many? పిచ్చి పట్టిందేమన్నా ఉద్యోగం ఎందుకు వదిలేసాం? ఎవడు సంపాదిస్తాడు? ఇద్దరు పిల్లల్ని అన్నావు, ఎవరు చూసుకుంటారు? మీ అమ్మకు చెప్తా, నేను బద్నాం చేస్తా. That is the reason we can't discuss Gopi Leela. If you can't understand Ram Sita, what to speak of Gopi and Krishna? A lot of people say, we'll comment on Gopi's love, నిజంగా అంత ప్రేమ ఉంటుందా గోపిలకు? నీకు అర్థం కాదురా నాయన. కాదు, ఎందుకంటే వీఆర్ నాట్ ఇన్ దట్ సిచ్యువేషన్. But that you need unlimited surrender to understand what gopis have done for Krishna, what Sita has done for Ram, what Draupadi has done for Pandavas. It's not ordinary. It's not ordinary. We are discussing about some great people. We are discussing about some great people in this Puranas from our history. And those great people are telling us, be dependent, be dependent. Don't be independent. If you're independent, you're going to mess up your life. And how much every one of us needs a guru. And that guru comes in the form of Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, Shravana Guru. We have to make ourselves available to hear. If you have a problem in the family, go to a devotee, go to a guru, go to Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, wherever. Go ask for shelter. So the person will come and do what you cannot do. Because you cannot do everything. Sabko samajh mein aa raha hai? Because Supreme Lord is also dependent. When Lord Narayan wants to distribute bhakti, can't he come to green grass and say, okay, you 2 kg bhakti, 3 kg bhakti, take it? Can't he do that? He can do it. Narayan can give bhakti, but Narayan cannot give bhakti. Can Krishna give bhakti? Krishna cannot give bhakti. Only a bhakta can give bhakti. When he had to give bhakti, he had to become a bhakta and come here to give bhakti, which is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Narayan wants to give bhakti, he gives it through Narad Muni, because Narad Muni is my bhakta. Again, independent or dependent? Dependent. Narayan himself is feeling dependent that my dear Narad Muni is going to go and distribute bhakti. Right? Very big instruction for all of us. Prabhuji and Matajis, this life is going to test us in many, many ways. Many ways this life will test us, I'm telling you. Especially when you come to devotion. Especially when you come to devotion, the test will be even higher. And the most difficult test is the test of relationships. And the most important relationship in our life is marriage relationship. Very important relationship. Because this relationship is going to help us go to Krishna. And we have to handle it, and we have to take shelter of senior devotees. Don't make decisions all by yourself. Become dependent. If you become dependent, your marriage will last. In this Kali Yuga, marriage will last only when you are dependent on the mercy of Krishna, on the mercy of devotees, on the mercy of Guru. My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanand Swami Maharaj, many times has told his disciples, tolerate each other for Krishna. He didn't say that you'll be so happy and jolly and no. Tolerate each other. Marriage means an institution of tolerating each other. 2 false egos under the same roof. What will happen? Jhankar beats everywhere. Right? That's what will happen. 2 false egos under the same roof. Not easy. How many parents are teaching or training their children that before you get married, tolerate each other? They themselves don't know. Tolerate each other. Hold on to it. Who is speaking? Nana? Tolerate each other. Very, very important. We have to teach our children also. Learn to tolerate. Don't start giving up, telling, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this. Your liking and disliking is going to mess up your life. You have to learn to tolerate. You have to learn to. You have a question? Tolerate. Point is, you have to accept that you can't. I'm again repeating this 2-3 things. You have to accept that you can't fix everything. And if you're suffering too much, that's only because you think that you can fix it. You think that you can fix it, that's the reason you're in frustration. The day you say, I can't make her understand, you'll be very, very peaceful. I can't make him understand, you'll become very peaceful. And then you can go and find a person to whom him or her will listen. That is your job. And that's exactly what Lord Krishna did in all his leelas. One person came to Srila Prabhupada and he asked, Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went from east of India to south of India. He could have also gone to America. He could have also spread. He could also spread the whole Krishna conscious movement in America also. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not do it? And Prabhupada's answer was so humbling and so instructive. Prabhupada told, because he wanted me to do it. He left that work for us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left that work for us. So we are doing it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also dependent on his disciples. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could have gone and spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Or for that matter, even in Bengal, he could have gone. He is from Bengal. He could have gone and nicely spoken. But what did he depend on? Hey Haridas Thakur, hey Nityanand Prabhu, you both go and spread the glories. He sent Nityanand Prabhu to Bangladesh and other parts of Bengal. You go and spread Krishna consciousness. He could have done it, but he wanted to depend on his devotees. But that makes more, that makes more meaning. So in Saransh, God is great. God is the most strongest. God is the unlimited. The greatest opulence of God is he is dependent on his devotees' devotee. Right? And in the same way, if you keep a mirror in front of your face, you can say, I am great, I am everything, but I am dependent on all the devotees. Do that every day morning, your life will be peaceful. But if you keep that mirror and say, I can fix everything, the mirror will break. It can't, even mirror can't tolerate your face. Right? So my humble request is, please, let's learn to have devotees in everything in our life. Who are devotees? Who are sent by, who has sent devotees into your life? Did you go and choose devotees? Huh? How many here have taken birth? I want to see a devotee. Anybody here? Or how many were going on the road? Where is devotee? Where is devotee? Where is? I found a devotee. Did anybody here? But devotees were there. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? We'll give him mercy. Gave a book of Prabhupada. Brought him to Satsang. Brought them here. Right? See, we already messed up our life by leaving Goloka. Already one big mistake we did. Azaripian already. We are already rotting here. Right? Now let's not leave Satsang. The Satsang is the only hope of going back to Goloka. Is there any other better situation, any organization? Nobody will remind you every week saying we have to go back to Goloka. Nobody will remind you. Does your milk vendor tell? Or Vijeta, Balaji supermarket, anybody tells, during the billing, you have to go back to Goloka, Does it do that? Or your boss, Did you send me the report? By the way, you're going to Goloka? Have you heard anybody saying that? The only person who tells that to you is a devotee, and it happens in a satsang, so don't miss this bus. Right? Take your devotional life very seriously and become more and more dependent to be happy. Become more and more dependent to be happy, not independent to become unhappy. And teach that to your children also. That when you are going through a tough time, go and take some advice. Go and depend on others. Don't be shy. Because shyness means 50 kg false ego. Okay, remember that. Don't be shy. Go and ask for help. Any questions? Any thoughts? Any reflections? Or we'll wrap up.
Western culture is very different. They've grown up in such a way that
Can somebody pass on the mic to anybody who has a mic? They're dependent on mic. Anybody has the mic? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Hariva. I just want everyone to hear the question. That's why.
It's not a person or anything.
No.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
The Western society, if you see the Eastern side, it's more of a dependency, but now we are moving towards the independent.
Yes. That is why we are suffering.
That's why we're suffering. It's like they being the grown up from the age of 14 years, 13 years, they say the parents say that like you have to be independent. Stay separate.
Stay separate. Unfortunately, that is what is happening. Wife tells her husband, we'll buy a car. Husband tells, I'll go, I'll ask my father. See, ఎందుకు పెళ్లి చేసుకున్నా నేను? మీ అయ్యను పోయి అడుగుతావా? సిగ్గులేదు నీకు? మా నాన్న అయితే నిన్ను పెళ్లి చేసుకున్నా. పౌరుషం లేదు? సమ్ పర్పట్ ఇస్ కమింగ్. పౌరుషం లేదు, సిగ్గు లేదు. Looks like people have gone through it. Property is building. You had something to share. You can pass the mic there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Like as you said, we should take advice from devotees, and we have so many devotees around. How do we know that you can take advice from particular devotee, or like how do you choose?
How do you choose a devotee? Mataji, Krishna will speak through your heart whom to go and surrender and put your problem forward. Yeah, dadati pratikranati, right? Guhyam akhyati prachati. You have to inquire confidentially and submissively reveal, whatever you have in mind. But then you should choose a devotee who is properly having a good sadhana. Right? Most important, he should have a good sadhana. And he should also follow what he's speaking. Right? He doesn't have to have great knowledge or a preacher. He doesn't have to be a preacher also. He can be just somebody who came along with you to the satsang also. Right? It doesn't have to be a senior. It doesn't have to be. It is just that you should find that person very sincere in what he's doing. And somebody who also depends on Krishna. That's also very important to see, right? In satsang also, you will find asatsang, lot. Because, see, we are all patients who came to ICU. Too many in the same theater right now. Maybe close to 80 of us, right? Immensely deceased. Everybody is deceased, right? So you have to be very careful on whom to go and ask advice, because there are some here who can tell their conclusions which they made with their independence, right? There are many. There are many. So you should be very careful. I'm not trying to be judgmental on anybody. But I'm telling you, even in satsang, you can get a satsang. Where they will tell you, to be very independent. Why are you asking your husband all these things? We'll go. Why are you telling your wife all these things? We'll do it. Right? Why do we have to do things together? We are independent. That kind of category is also sitting. Right? Very careful with them. You switch off the mic. Yeah, some dependency that way. The point is, even in satsang, you can find a satsang very easily. If a devotee comes to you and says, and shows that I'm serving my in-laws very nicely, I'm telling this to Matajis, and a devotee shows I'm serving my husband very nicely, I'm respecting my husband a lot, you should go to that devotee. You go to a frustrated devotee who doesn't like her husband, who doesn't serve her in-laws, who is claiming to, you are putting yourself in trouble. Tapasya means to do that which is right, even if it is uncomfortable, for a definite benefit in future. That is tapasya. Our life itself is a tapasya. Right? So you should go there. If a devotee is sitting there and saying, Prabhuji, sometimes onion garlic okay kada, okay kada, okay kada, okay kada. Sometimes okay na, okay na, okay na. You go and tell the devotee, Prabhu, can you tell me whether onion garlic is okay? What little? Okay, Prabhu. Isn't it? He's compromising on tapasya already. If you go to a devotee who is coming to satsang for 10 years, has no clue or no inspiration to take initiation from any guru, Jayapataka Maharaj or Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Rana, whatever Maharaj, he has no inspiration only. Can you stop from playing this? And you go to the devotee and ask, Prabhu, how can I surrender to a guru? What will he tell? Guru, क्यों प्रभु जी प्रसाद का अच्छा रहता है, सत्संग जाते रहो, देखेंगे जब गुरु आएगा. But if you go to a devotee who is coming to satsang, is like, Prabhu, I finished my 3 years. That was the minimum criteria. I'm going to do more. I want to get initiated. I want shelter of Guru, because without Guru, what can I do? Guru shelter is mercy. You know, that is what will give me the more determination to go for. Go to the devotee and ask, you will get initiated also. You should choose the right people to get inspired. Otherwise, even in satsang, you can fall into trouble. How you wear, what you wear, right? There are some totally converted devotees who are coming in dhoti, kurta, khandwa. There are some middle conversion, half kurta, no dhoti. They are still not totally converted, right? And some I will not convert. T-shirt, pant, you know, all this. I'm not judging anybody here. I'm telling you, some category will be there like that. Even given a chance, they'll not eskon. Then eskon. Then eskon and eskon. Should not associate more with them, especially on dress aspects. Tell, Prabhuji, 10 years will go through, Prabhuji. That's okay. Prabhuji never tells anything. Pant is okay. Shirt is okay. But that Prabhuji is thinking clothes are okay. Right? So whom are we associating with for what is? Do you want? Once I was speaking to Radhesham Prabhu, I'll quote this. The Radhesham Prabhu was telling, some other devotee came and asked Radhesham Prabhu, Prabhu, your standards are very high. You are very particular about everything. Every day Mangalarti, every this, you know. Then Radhesham Prabhu told a beautiful answer. He told, Prabhu, when you keep your standards very high, you will attract the people who want to have high standards. Right? When you keep your standards high, you will attract the people who want to keep high standards. When you keep your standards low, you will attract the people who don't want any standards. Simple. Okay. So tomorrow morning high standards. Nahi hoga aise. Nahi hoga. Tomorrow morning high standards nahi hoga. But are you associating with those devotees whom you want to follow and improve your standard? Hai ki nahi? So Krishna will inspire. But we should also have, you know, we should know our motives. Do I want to get corrected, or do I want to be, do I want to be corrected, or do I want to justify myself? Right? There are many devotees in satsang who just want to justify that I am in satsang, I am devotee. They'll justify for everything. You go and tell them, Prabhu, Prabhu, I am doing now. What is Kiran? Justify. But there will be some devotees. You go and tell Prabhu, like, Prabhuji, sorry, I'll no one shall not do that. No one shall follow it. I will change myself, Prabhuji. And those devotees are the most advanced devotees. You should go and find those devotees. Not the people who justify. Hare Krishna Mantra చేస్తున్నావు చేస్తున్నావు, విష్ణు సహస్రనామం చేస్తున్నావు చేస్తున్నావు, ఈ పూజ చేస్తున్నావు అన్ని చేస్తున్నావు, ఇది చేస్తున్నావు అన్ని చేస్తున్నావు. దీంట్లో అన్నిటికంటే గ్రేట్ ఏది? అది అనవసరం, నాకు అన్ని చేస్తున్నాను, అన్ని చేస్తా. ఐఎమ్ బెటర్ దెన్ కృష్ణ టు డిసైడ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్. పండిత వన్ దర్శన. Very dangerous devotees. They're devotees only, but they're in that different direction. Be very careful. Go to devotees who will tell Krishna is Supreme Personality Word. Right? And they will say how to respect the devatas, how to respect everybody, how to become more advanced in spiritual life. But even though it is uncomfortable to deal with those devotees, still choose those, because those devotees will cure you and will remove the, our justifying propensity. They'll remove. Right? I know it was a long answer, but be careful. Even associating with me also, be careful. Yes. Any other thoughts, reflections, doubts? Yes. Some Mataji I could hear. Is there? Yeah. Can somebody pass on the mic?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We have a question, Prabhuji. Anumataji and myself.
My first question is, why are you inside?
To give space to others, Prabhuji.
I can't see you properly. Anyway, go ahead, Mataji.
Prabhuji, when we depend on others, do we have to make a choice on whether that person is worthy of depending, or what will happen if that person is not reliable to depend on for Krishna consciousness? Yeah, and maybe that person is not even willing for you to depend on. What happens then?
You should not depend on people whom you're not confident to depend on.
So there is a choice there, intelligent choice.
Definitely, that's what exactly Mother is asking. Which are the devotees they should go and depend on? We have to make that choice. There is this higher principle that we want to achieve, Mataji. There is a higher principle that Prabhupada has given us. 7 purposes of establishing ISKCON, or the most essential principles that we want to follow in spiritual life. We can switch off the mic a little, yeah. Just switch it off. Yeah. So we have to aim to achieve those principles. It's not easy to achieve those principles. It is not easy to follow those higher standards. But if there is somebody who can guide us to those principles, even though it's very uncomfortable to associate with, we should still choose this association. Right? And if people are not worthy to be dependent on, we should not be. There are many people who are not worthy to be dependent on. I am sitting here, I am not worthy to be dependent on. For many things I am not. I am being very open about it. But does it mean your buck stops here? If Lilananda Prabhu is a whatever, you can put a name to it, is a fraud, lunatic, whatever you will say. Does your devotion stop here? No. Move on. Go to the next person. Go to the next devotee. Go to the next satsang. This is a struggle that we have to go through. It doesn't stop there. And we should not depend on somebody who is trying to be independent. Simple. We should not depend on anybody who is trying to be independent. If that one quality you see in a person, that this person is trying to be independent, never take advice from him or her. Simple. Right? Like my own Guru Maharaj and many other sannyasis in ISKCON, they're never independent. Even though they are initiating gurus, even though they have their own disciples, even though they have everything, but they always act in dependence with their God brothers and ISKCON. They always stay inside. They never try to be, independent. Once my God brother, he was struggling to take initiation from a guru. I'll not tell which guru, because a question was troubling him. A question was troubling him that how come some gurus fall down in ISKCON? How come some sannyasis fell down? Meaning they could not stand up to the standards. How come they fell down? Then he went to Mayapur. And he was struggling with this question. Mahaprabhu, please answer me. I want to surrender my life to this guru. He is part of ISKCON. He is a good guru. But then I'm struggling with this question that how can gurus fall down? Right? Then he went to Chaitanya Gaudiya, the Gaudiya established by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati in Mayapur. He went there, and a very advanced sannyasi was sitting there, and he was chanting. And this Prabhu, he didn't want to disturb him. So, but he had this question, but he didn't know whether to ask him or not. He went there and he sat down. And he sat down beside that sannyasi. And he was chanting. This Prabhu also took his bead mala, he started chanting. Then after some time, that sannyasi just looked at him. He said, you want to ask me something? Like that he asked. And this Prabhu was like, oh, Maharaj, I didn't want to disturb you. No, you can ask if you have a question. See, sannyasis can know that this person has a question. He asked, what is your question? Then he said, Maharaj, I want to take Diksha from this guru. I want to take Diksha from this guru in ISKCON. But I have this question, Maharaj, that why gurus fall down in ISKCON? Why gurus fall down in ISKCON? Then his answer was simple. He said, everybody who wanted to become Prabhupada has fallen down. Period. Everybody who wanted to become Prabhupada or try to take the position of Prabhupada has fallen down. And then he asked, so which guru you want to take initiation from? He told the name of a sannyasi. He told, Maharaj, this guru I want. Immediately he closed his eyes and said, that guru, Shuddha Bhakta, go take initiation. Right? And immediately his eyes were filled with tears and he understood. He got all his answers. So what did he do? When he had a question, what did he do? He went, he asked the question, he clarified it, he got the answer. He came back, he took initiation. Right? And what a beautiful answer he gave. Anybody who tries to become Prabhupada will fall down. And what does the Prabhupada denote here? Guru. Guru Tattva. Right? You have your Siksha Guru. You try to become your Siksha Guru, you will fall down. Become a servant of your Siksha Guru. Become a servant of the servant of the servant of that Siksha Guru, your spiritual life will blossom. But if you try to become that Siksha Guru or that Diksha Guru or say that I am better than him, but your spiritual life will be ruined. Simple. And a Siksha Guru also think that if I think that I am better than anybody sitting here, his life will be ruined. Simple. It's a Prabhuji and Mataji, this whole exercise of Guru, Guru Tattva, Parampara, everything is to humble us and try to become totally dependent. We are totally dependent. When Prabhupada wanted to go to America and he got that ticket from Jaladuta, did he immediately go to Kolkata and board the ship? No. He took the opportunity to travel to Shantipur and go and cry in front of Advaita Acharya's house, saying what? Is he dependent or independent? Completely dependent. Saying, Advaita, you have called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear. And my guru is telling that I should go and preach the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. I am dependent on your mercy. Please bless me that I can go and do this mission, which I think I'm totally unqualified to do. I'm totally unqualified to do. Prabhupada, AC, Abhay Charanaravindra, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has translated and written so many great purports, so many books, established 108 temples, is sitting in front of his house and crying. And he's saying, I'm totally dependent on your mercy. And nobody even knows that. Huh? By the way, Prabhupada didn't take a video or a selfie like this. Dependent, I'm dependent. I didn't do that. He just cried. And those were the years, those were the tears. Those are the tears of love for his Guru. And the pujari of the temple was astonished to see this personality. And he went and asked, why are you crying like this? I keep seeing you once in a while, you come and cry, but why are you crying? He said, no, I'm going to fulfill the order of my Guru. Now the opportunity has come and I want to completely depend on Advaita Acharya's mercy. He said, no, you will serve your Guru. Like that the Pujari told, he went away. He thought, just another person. And after Prabhupada left the planet, after many years, one Russian devotee or American devotee, they were jumping in Shantipur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They were jumping and taking Prabhupada's picture along with the mantra. They had a Prabhupada's picture. And they went to Shantipur. And they were showing that picture and the Pujari came out. Wait a second. Show me that picture. And he sees Prabhupada's picture. And then he told, after so many years of Prabhupada leaving, that this person used to come and cry here. I know him. He used to come and cry here. And the last time I saw him was somewhere in this time. And he came here and he told he is traveling, he's going to try to fulfill the order of his Guru. And see that what Prabhupada is teaching us, how dependent he is on the mercy of his Guru and how much dependent he is on the mercy of his disciples also. Right? Prabhupada many times told that my disciples are not my disciples. They are sent by my Guru to help me fulfill the order of my Guru. Prabhupada and Matajis, our entire ISKCON movement is about dependence. Showing us dependence. Not to be independent. Right? Whatever we do, we want to do preaching, try to be dependent on somebody who can tell you how to preach. If you try to be independent, thinking you are the best preacher who just took birth in India, you're going to mess up your spiritual life. You're going to mess up your spiritual life. Simple. Some people don't like to be told what has to be done. Some people don't like to be told what has to be done. That means their false ego is 200 kgs. So it will take time to go. It will take time to go. But you have to be with devotees who are following. Isn't it? How do you remove that? Prabhuji bolte, nobody wants to discuss, whatever it is we have to do. If some people are talking like that, how will they come out of the tendency? How will they come out of the tendency? If somebody has a problem with one Siksha Guru telling, do this, do this, do this, and he's like, why we have to listen to him all the time? Why I can't decide on my own? Why this? If that mentality is there, how can he come out of it? How can he come out of it? Anybody? By becoming dependent on the mercy of a devotee who is actually following the Siksha Guru. Isn't it? You don't like to be, but you have to be there and follow it. And that's what Prabhupada did. That's what Prabhupada disciples did. Just imagine Prabhupada disciples. They were completely independent until Prabhupada came. And they became completely dependent after Prabhupada came. Right? Prabhuji and Matajis, our false ego will not allow us to be dependent on anybody. Because that is the reason we are here. That is the sole reason we are here, is because we don't want to be dependent. We don't want to be dependent. That is the reason we are here. I'm sorry, I'm using the dependent so many times today, but there is a very important point I want to convey here. Learn to be dependent on others. And of course, choose, like answering to your question, you have to make a conscious choice. of depending on a person who will make you uncomfortable to become dependent, not comfortable to make you independent. Don't go and take association of a devotee who projects himself independent. If there is a devotee somewhere in that corner of the city, he's preaching there, and you go and tell the devotee, Prabhuji, are you not connected? No, Prabhuji, I don't want to be connected with anybody. I am preaching this side of the city. I am very happy. I don't want to be connected with any other groups. I don't want to be connected with any temple also. I don't want to be connected with anything. It's a very sensitive thing I'm saying. Independence, the crop of false ego can come into your lives in the form of a devotion also. In the name of devotion also. Right? But you should be dependent. You don't want to associate with people who want to act independently. Some dependence they should also have. Right? We'll stop it here. You have a question? One last question I'll take. Is it okay? One last question? Yeah. Pass on the mic to her.
Prabhuji, you were talking about asatsanga in satsang, and I'm probably not applicable to ask this, but you were saying that we have to find the right people in satsang, those who make us uncomfortable, and depend on them. But in this process, when we're trying to find out who to depend on, aren't we judging Vaishnavas?
You're not judging, you're trying to, well, Viveka Buddhi is something, you can switch off the mic. Viveka Buddhi is something that Krishna has given to you. It's a very good question you're asking. Right? By trying to choose the best among everyone, am I not judging others? No, you're trying to find somebody who will inspire you more. Doesn't mean that you don't take inspiration from others. You'll continue to take inspiration from others, but you're very clear about what you want to get cured on. Our spiritual progress, Our spiritual progress will start when we identify our own disease. Okay, that is the step number one. Our spiritual progress will start when we identify our own disease. And when we identify our disease, we want to go to a devotee who is particularly expert in curing the disease. Just like going to a doctor, right? You know what your disease is, you go to a doctor. You're not judging doctors when you go to a hospital. You're trying to find the best doctor for you. That's all. Your respect for other doctors is not going down. Right? You are going to find the doctor who will cure your disease in the most fast way, in the most best way. Right? You're not judging anybody. So you have to do that. And how do you do that? You go to a doctor who will tell you a solution which certainly you will not like. But that is a solution. Right? Kadwa Sach. They say Kadwa Sach, like what do you say Kadwa in English? Bitter truth. Right? It's always bitter only. It's a slap on actually. When falsehood gets slapped, bahut darad hota hai. Krishna will push the button in that place which you don't want him to push. He'll push it there. And then that will cure you. And every one of us in this hall, in this house, need that button to be pushed. It's about you, how ready you are. Okay, push that button. I'm ready for it. And that button has to be pushed many, many times for us to get purified. And we don't need to judge anybody. We are just going to the person who is going to inspire us to do the right thing. Right? The principle, as I said some time back, you have the principles which are already given by Acharyas. Chanting your 16 rounds uncompromisingly. Principle number 1. Following the 4 regulative principles, struggle, go with it, continue it. Enthusiastically follow the 4 regulative principles. Tat karma pravartanat. Right? You have to follow. Next word. Take the association of devotees. Always. Read Prabhupada books. Always. Hear the lectures. Always. Eat prasadam. Always. Now here are the principles that the Acharyas have given us. Now you can get up now and start choosing who is going to inspire you on which principle. Simple. Maybe one devotee may not inspire you on all the principles. possible, right? So if it has to be getting up in the morning and doing your rounds, maybe you should get up and look at, I don't know, I don't want to judge here, but Malingam Prabhu. He's not here, so I can go. Yeah, I want to go and ask him, how should I get up in the morning? How can I get up early? How can I finish my rounds before? He told me he's doing that. He wants to get up before his daughter gets up and finish. He wants to finish 16 rounds before his daughter gets up. Right? So if you want to scale up to that standard, you have to go and find the devotee. Does it mean you are judging Subbarao Prabhu or me? Or anybody else here in the room? No. You just found somebody who's doing it nicely, catch him. Fall at his feet. Tell him, Prabhu, I also want to do that. Somebody is doing nice deity worship, highest standard. Right? Every time you see them, the deity worship is so nice. Deities are so nicely kept. You know, the mantras are nicely followed. You know, the mudras, the whole aspect is nicely taken care of. Festivals are very vibrant in their house. You should go to the devotee. There are 5 altars in 5 devotee houses, but you're going to a devotee house who are taking care of the deities in the most beautiful way. Are you judging other devotees? No, you just are trying to get the best out of, you know, the best devotee who can teach you. But does it mean that any other devotee who has an altar will tell you something, you'll not listen? You will still listen. But you want it fast. You want it the highest. Perfect. So you'll go to the devotee. Right? So every aspect in devotion, chanting properly. One devotee is always walking when he's chanting. You want to sit and chant. You'll go to a devotee who will sit and chant. Because if you go and ask the devotee who is walking and chanting, he'll tell you 10 ways of chanting while walking. Right? But you want to go and ask a devotee, how can I sit down and finish my rounds? So according to your sincere inspiration, you should choose a person who can teach you the highest principle. And it's a gradual process. We're not judging anybody. And you should not judge anybody. It's a gradual process. But you should choose the right association who will inspire you to go further in spiritual life, not back. Because there will be people in satsang, because this is ICU, deceased people who will come and create trouble also. They will not only go back, they'll take 10 people with them. Right? That will happen. That happens everywhere in life, right? Even in offices, you see that. Right? One person who doesn't get a good appraisal will make sure that not only he will go, he'll take 10 people with him. Demotivate everybody. Right? In the same way, even in satsang, there will be some. Just because you're coming to satsang doesn't mean that we are all pure devotees. Just because I'm wearing all this, this means what? This means oxygen pipe. More deceased in ICU. Right now I am. Right? So you should understand that you should take inspiration from people who are telling you the highest principles. If you see in satsang, this for Mataji, if you see in satsang, a Mataji who is respecting her husband, really taking care of her in-laws, being very nice, and always preaching everybody that this is the highest principle, you should take association of that Mataji. Simple. Simple. And if you're seeing a husband who is taking care of his wife and children, giving good time, and also making sure that they are progressing properly, really taking care of them, we should associate with that Prabhuji. If you go to a Prabhuji who doesn't spend any time with his family, who is a trouble for his family, and who keeps telling that, keep all that aside, we should focus on our devotion, what will happen? We'll mess up our family life, isn't it? So our inspiration should, first of all, we should have sincerity, knowing what our disease is, and then we should go and ask for the right devotee association. And be dependent. Okay. Hare Krishna. We'll wrap up here. It's 8:30. So we'll spend 2 minutes. We'll do a small kirtan. Yes. Yeah. Nice small kirtan. And then we'll spend few minutes. Subbarao Prabhu's birthday, he is being celebrated here. Very well. Yes. Very, very inspiring devotee. Where is he? Yes. He's hiding. Nobody can hide from Subbarao Prabhu. If you hide, he'll put you in his class and make you read Bhagavatam. Yeah. So we'll sing, nice kirtan, and then Prabhuji's father-in-law has written a poem for Prabhuji. So we want to hear. How dependent his father-in-law is on him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlada Lada Daine, Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha, Shilasantana Kalaye, Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho, Yato Yami Tato Narsimho. Bahir Narsimho, Hridaye Narsimho. Narasinghamadhim Sharanam Prapate. Abakara Kamala Barenakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadruta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Avakara Kamala Hare Naka Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadruta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nithai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nithai Gaura Hari Bol भक्त विघ्ननाश के नरसिंह देव भगवान की भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रदिकाचार्य स्तोत्र जवान ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रदिकाचार्य स्तोत्र जवान भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की प्रेम से बोलो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय ओम श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिर गोवर्धन की जय श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुर धाम की जय पुण्य क्षेत्र वृंदावन धाम की जय गंगे माई की जय यमुने माई की जय भक्ति देवी की जय कलियुग पावन तुलसी महारानी की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय ट्रांसलेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय ट्रांसलेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय निताई गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki Hare Krishna. One thing I would like to add, just one thing I remembered this when I was saying the final Prem Dhvani is how do you choose the right devotee who can advise you, right? I think Suma Mataji also asked that question and you also asked a similar kind of question. So I'll answer this by quoting His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. So I recently heard that Giraswai Maharaj was once saying that everybody is a devotee except me. Everybody is a devotee except me. Like that he was saying. And everybody is a devotee except me. Like that Giraj Maharaj was saying. And one disciple of Maharaj, he went and asked Giraj, Maharaj, how can you say everybody is a devotee? There are some materialistic people also. There are some devotees, but there are some materialistic people also. How can you say everybody is a devotee? Then Maharaj told, see, these devotees, they are serving Krishna. And those materialistic people, they are serving purely Krishna's energy. Right? They are still better than me, that they are serving something related to Krishna. I am struggling. I am not sincere either, neither in this nor in that. Like that he told. Just his humility that he told like that. But actually a pure devotee feels that everybody is better than him. Just like Yudhishthira Maharaj told, when he was asked by Dronacharya, find somebody who is better than you, no, who is worse than you. He said, I don't think I need to find anyone because I am the most worst among all. Right? Similar way, when we want to go and find a devotee who will advise us, we should go with the heart, thinking that everybody is better than me. Then Krishna will send the right devotee in our life who will answer our problems. But if you go out trying to find faults in others, like you rightly told, are you not finding faults? Yes, sometimes we'll end up finding faults trying to find the best devotee also. That attitude is not right. But you should still try to find, the best person who can inspire you. And the one person who is inspiring all of us today here in this house is Subbarao Prabhu, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So who has been conducting satsangs, reading Prabhupada books, making everybody read relentlessly, uncompromisingly, not stopping his tapasya of conducting Tuesday and Thursday reading club, Bhagavatam reading club. And he and his team who are with him, reading with him, they have reached 140 sessions so far, right? And I think they are in the 6th canto, if I'm right. Is that right? 6th canto. And that's a great tapasya. That's a selfless service of not only making sure he is reading, but he's also making others read. So we all should take inspiration from him, right? When we want somebody who can teach us how to become more sincere in reading, then we have a Siksha Guru there for reading, right? So we can find our inspiration in different places, from different devotees. And I'm very grateful to Nirupama Mataji and her parents. Prabhuji, I'm very grateful to the entire family, actually, for making us host the satsangs here. Actually, this is the house where I first met Suma Mataji. Yeah, Mataji was sitting right here, I think, somewhere. We were having a circle. And this is the house where we met many devotees, right? And this house, we had so many satsangs. And whenever I conduct satsang, I'm part of the satsang in this house, I feel very homely. It's like my own house, like that I feel. Yeah, very grateful. And let us pray sincerely that whatever challenges that this family will face, which they will face, we are all there for them. And we'll pray that Lord Krishna will always help you, and Lord Krishna will always be with you, making you progress more and more in Krishna Bhakti. And let's also pray that Krishna gives very good health to Subbarao Prabhu. Yeah, so that he has just crossed his 50. So 50. Huh? I asked him yesterday, how are you feeling? He said, I got Britannia 50-50. He has a tremendous sense of humor. So, really sincerely we pray for his good health and good spiritual progress and continued endeavor to serve Prabhupada. Ultimately, all of us are here to go back, Prabhu. So take us all with you. Yeah. So, Prabhuji, your poem time? Sharda Mataji will sing the poem. Then cake cutting and poem time. So Sharda Mataji is going to read a poem. Can somebody pass on the mic, please? Whoever has that mic instrument? Yeah? Hare Krishna. And today is also the birthday of Shobha Kumari Mataji. Right? So she's not here. I think she lives somewhere in Madinaguda, which is like 12 kilometers from here, so we have to shout so loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This went till Mayapur. I'm sorry. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Let's pray for her good health also. Mataji has been always having some health problems, but she never stopped her service for Krishna. Very inspiring. From the time we came back to India, we have met Prabhuji's family, Akichan Prabhu and Shobha Kumari Mataji. Though they are not here, very, very close to our hearts. And we should learn from them how you can continue to serve in difficult situations, right? So Mataji, where is the poem? Oh, you're here. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
దీని గురించి చెప్పండి అంటే ఎందుకు రాశారు ఏంటి?
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. ఇది నేను రాయలేదండి, మా వారు రాశారు. అంటే సుబ్బారావు గారు మామగారు రాశారు. సుబ్బారావు గారు అత్తగారు అయిన నేను చదువుతున్నాను.
హరిబో, ఫుల్ క్లారిటీ.
అంటే ఆయన గురించి కొన్ని విషయాలు చిన్న కవిత అని చెప్పచ్చు, లేకపోతే సన్మానం అని కూడా చెప్పచ్చు. అయ్యో రామ కదండి, అయ్యో కృష్ణ. దయచేసి ఏదైనా తప్పులు చదివితే క్షమించవలసిందిగా ముందుగా ప్రభుజీని కోరుకుంటున్నాను.
హరే కృష్ణ. ఒక మదర్ ఇన్ లా, ఫాదర్ ఇన్ లా మీ గురించి కవిత రాసినట్టు మీరు సమానులు కాదు బ్రో. Yes, Subara bro, we want you to appear here. This side. This side, come here. Yes, Nirupama Mataji also. What did you do to make sure your side of the army is so much favorable for this side of the army?
రాసిన వారి చదివితేనే బాగుంటుందేమో కదండి.
Yes, హరి బోల్. హరే కృష్ణ. హరే కృష్ణ.
శ్రీ కట్టమూరు వెంకట సుబ్బారావు గారి 70వ జన్మదిన సందర్భంగా సమర్పిస్తున్న అక్షర సుమాల మాల.
హరిబో. No effects, we listen.
కట్టమూరి వారి వంశమును కూర్మితో నుద్భవించి ప్రేమయుత సౌశీల్యంబు పునికి పుచ్చుకొనినారు. సత్యసాయి గురుకులమునందు మిత్రుల ఎడ సౌభ్రాతృత్వము నెరపి గురువులకు అభిమాన పాత్రుండుగా ఉండినారు. యంత్ర పరికరాల సాంకేతిక విద్యనభ్యసించి కంప్యూటర్ భాషలందు ప్రావీణ్యము వృత్తి గావించుకొనినారు. స్మిక్మికేనందు సభ్యత్వముంది లబ్ధ ప్రతిష్ఠులైన సాంస్కృతిక కళాకారుల ప్రజ్ఞా ప్రదర్శనములకు సహకారమిచ్చినారు. క్వాన్ సిస్టమ్స్ ఆవిర్భావమునకు చేయూతనిచ్చి